Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleed Sports Podcast. I am Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. Adam, how are you today, sir? Well, really excited. We got a lot to talk about today. It's going to be fun. We had a great, I think this is going to be one of the best podcasts we've had in quite a while. I agree. And how are you? If I was any better, I'd be twins. Good. Yeah. Speaking of twins, they had their first real softball game today ever. They've been hitting, if you don't hit a few, then they hit off the tee and you don't count the outs and nobody counts how many people scored. Just kind of, if you just go until you bat through the order and the next team hits. Then that last girl runs on the bases and go inside. Today was tournament day. Day number one. Barn burner, bro. 5-4. 5-4. Now, let's get on here because it's a real score. It's a real score. Let's get on this out, not take soccer. We take soccer. We take softball.
I mean, Cincinnati. What do they call it? FC Cincinnati was the best team, and
Did they win last time?
they did.
They did. My sister that was a game of some sort.
We're going to talk about another cup. We're going to have some chosen cups.
It's lots of cups.
We talked last week about the Chris Silva thing. I think.
Yeah.
What's his face cup?
Yeah. The Nutty Buddy. We also will talk a little live golf slash PGA Tour golf. And the unbelievable announcement that is going to change golf forever. And here we know it. Maybe not how we know it, but it's definitely going to be a big change. The NBA Finals, I believe as we came downstairs here, it was the fourth quarter and the Heat were down by 20. So we're going to do a whole bunch of that. We got a little surprise in the middle of it too. I'm not telling him what the surprise is. He's going to find out very shortly.
Okay. I'm pregnant.
No. It's a lie. I'm teasing a lie. I'm teasing a lie. You actually know what it is.
Okay.
It's still a surprise.
Okay. It was my surprise for you.
I'm super excited. It's in the cooler. And asked me if I had different spoons.
Yeah, it's spoons for these because we made Reese's peanut butter ice cream.
Oh my gosh. Well, I needed bowls.
We can eat bowls. I mean, you can do one spoonful and that's it.
Bowls.
Just give me one cup or like to get a cookie.
Just saying, he doesn't want to do full bowls. It's not ice cream afterwards. Related. No. Well, if that's the case, I'm getting full bowls.
That's fine. I shouldn't say something wrong.
Yeah, you're good. I'm gonna go up there and here's what you have to do. All right.
Yes.
Your favorite thing in the world is when I have to use the bathroom during the podcast or run and go help a child or something like that, and you have to speak on your own into this podcast without me sitting here. I know that's like your worst thing you dislike.
One of my favorite things is when you have to go to the bathroom and if I can hear it. One speaking.
I don't know. I'm gonna listen back to see if I can hear it singing in the background.
You can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it.
You can hear a little bit. A long time ago.
Maybe I need to make sure the door shuts a little bit. Seal on it or something. We're on almost episode 300 now, so I think Bobby Edwards told us he was going, if we made it to 100 episodes, he was going to soundproof this room, and it's still not soundproof. So
Be something.
Bobby, I'm into it. So that's what I am asking you with talking about.
Yes.
I want you to tell the story of the Reds game you went to last night that was like a playoff game.
Yeah.
Was the energy high? Watching it?
It was the most energetic the ballpark has been during a regular season game that I've been to in a long time. My first game in person of the year, and I waited for a while because number one, they're not great, although they have been fun to watch. This is one of those teams you get in the NBA sometimes with like Sacramento 3 years ago and the Grizzlies 3, 4, 5 years ago. They're a young up and coming team. There are players that are exciting to watch. The Reds are that way right now, where it was the first. I mean, I couldn't. Did you have some down here?
I mean, like I said, I didn't want to feel bad. So, literally, things and stuff like that. I mean, I it's,
No, exclusive, man. Lloyd Anthony's made his debut yesterday. I didn't even get to that yet.
Gantz comes up, walks, ends up scoring, all that good stuff, and you get a
Yeah.
this was it.
It was really, really cool. And Matt McClain, the other guy that's going to get forgotten about now, he's been awesome since he came up, which makes the only thing even more exciting because now we got two guys that are these big time prospects who are up now, who want to play, and they're going to play probably every day. And there's no reason not to. Right. So, but Ellie De La Cruz has been, if you don't know, has been ESPN like 2 weeks ago made him their top prospect in baseball.
Many people sitting around you when he went first, was it second to him or first to him or whatever it was? How many people around you said, "Oh, how many people?" He made a big deal about it. It's like 5 people were talking about this 10.2 number. And I don't know if it's first to him or what it is.
Tonight, first to third on a triple, 10.82, I think it was.
First to third.
That's the fastest first to third of Major League Baseball. Sorry, home to third.
Yeah.
Home to third. Yes.
And he had a home run.
First home run and his first triple. He had a double. It was the furthest hit ball of any Red so far this year.
I'm seeing it.
It was hit 5 feet off the ground and staying 5 feet off the ground until it hit the wall. That's what it seemed like.
I'm going to tell you, the kid is turning out to be everything as advertised. The biggest part that I've heard about him is that he doesn't have great pitch selection. He can hit any pitch, but he swings at a lot of pitches, which sounds like Vladimir Guerrero to me, right? So, yeah, all right, give me 10 day all night. I'm talking about senior, not junior young kids.
Well, I'll tell you, his first plate appearance was a lot. They started, it seemed like pitching around him right away.
And for your debut, and you're getting pitched around. That's what he just said on the TV thing.
Yep.
By the way, we're doing a Reese's ice cream for Reese's today. This is already a 10. I'm not even going to taste it. I'm just telling you it's a 10 before I taste it.
This is peanut butter ice cream. I'm like 4 bites in. Yeah, I'm gonna buy 6 more of these.
This is definitely a 10. This is a 10. This is easy. This is easy money, bro. Easy money. Maybe I can't give a 10 out. Let's go 9-9.
I was thinking 9-8.
There you go. All right. It was easy.
I'll write those down in a minute. I'm just gonna continue.
So anyway,
That was the thing. Like, he came out of the dugout to warm up minutes before the game started or something like that. And everybody that saw him first by the Reds dugout cleared like easy. I mean, standing ovation. And everybody stood every time he came up. The entire ballpark stood for every one of his at bats last night.
do you know what it was?
It was only like 22,000, but apparently there was a huge walk-up crowd.
22,000 on a Tuesday night. That's on
For a team that's 8 games on the 500 right. So because of the electricity in the ballpark, and he showed why. He hit the crap out of the ball.
fast as lightning.
Really fast. He made it. So they gave him a base hit, which I think was the right call, but there was it one of Mookie Betts ball down the line. He was playing third, which was question long before, all the talk the last few weeks about where he's going to play, not necessarily where he's going to play, but where everybody else is going to play. Nick Senzel got hurt for once. Sorry. And they were like, you know what? We're just going to plug him in at third. Plug him in at third. He did a nice job. The ball was down the line, on the line. It looked like a field goal to me. So he had to range to his right from third base. The umpire was almost in the way. He almost ran into the umpire. So ball hit off like the heel of his glove, kind of. And he just, hit off his glove. He just picked it up. And go back into a base hit, yeah. But he did make a couple decent plays. Going to his left, threw a guy out. Looks like he's got a good arm. So very exciting player to watch. And it's funny because like I have these mixed feelings because he has like all the tools that Eric Davis had, and he's number 44.
I know everybody's talking about it. It sucks.
I don't want him to wear 44. As excited as I am for this guy, I said this before, I'm still a guy that no matter how good you are, Victor Wembanyama, when we were talking about him, yeah, people can think about he's by far the greatest player in the world. You have to show me on the highest level. You have to prove it to me. So, I can't give 44 to just anybody. Now, highest rated prospect since Jay Bruce or whatever, it just came off the punts that had it before him.
What was his name? I don't remember his name. We had to back
Aristides Aquino.
Aquino had it before him.
Yeah. I know. We got to get that number retired.
I agree.
So anyway, it's retired in my mind. But look, if he ends up being a Hall of Famer, then fine. It's going to get retired anyway. And then I'm just gonna say 44 is retired for Eric Davis and Ellie Dale Cruz.
So a lot of fun for the Reds. Tonight they hit another walk-off home run. Will Benson, who at the game I was at 2 games ago that they won. I think it was 2-0, maybe 3-0. I can't remember. I made a bet with one of the kids on the baseball team.
Andrew Abbott's debut.
It was Andrew Abbott's debut, and he was phenomenal.
Another reason to get excited if you're a Reds fan.
So that is a lot of fun. But I made a bet. So the baseball team went to the game, made a bet with them, and I had bet $5. I said Will Benson would hit a home run. He didn't. Or maybe I bet the Reds would win. I can't remember. But I was talking all kinds of crap about Will Benson that he was going to hit this home run. And he never did. But he hits the walk-off tonight, which is 2 days later. I knew it was coming. I didn't know exactly when it was going to be. Some credit. I'll get half credit. I'm going to give my 5 push-ups anyway at practice today. But when I was at the game, you called me. And we talked a little bit about the show. That's right. And one of the dads sitting around yelled out, "We should talk about the Stanley Cup." It's the time on the Nosebleed Sports Podcast.
It's one of my favorite times of the year.
This is the surprise for Adam I was talking about, which he kind of knows about. He's had a little time to think about it since we, right before we got on here. This is how bad hockey is. I can't even find it on ESPN. I gotta scroll over into more things. All right, so what is it's the Stanley Cup. It's not even in the top 6. Like, NCAA men's basketball and football are above where hockey is. Adam Schmidt, I will let you know that the Stanley Cup Finals, the next game is tomorrow night. It's at 8:00. There's a team that is winning 2-0. It's Stanley Cup.
I know who they are. It's the Buffalo Sabres and the San Jose Sharks.
That's really close. All right, that's guess number 1. You can give you 2 guesses. This is going to be way too much fun. So, Las Vegas Golden Knights. That's correct.
Each one of them?
Yep.
Look, I remember them being in they won it last year.
They were in it their inaugural season, which was like 2 years ago.
Okay. So it's the Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Las Vegas Silver.
Oh, close. Guess number 2 is incorrect.
Um, we'll say Vegas and Colorado Avalanche.
Guess number 3 is wrong as well.
I'm gonna say the Knights, the Golden Knights, and let's go. I don't think it's the big time guy.
It's not like a big time
It's
name.
not the. It's not the. It's not the. Maple Leafs. Those are the three big
If
ones.
you gave me 3 generic names and said which one of these really is a hockey team, I would not have guessed it.
Oh, okay. All right. So then, it's still the.
If I'm gonna give you the mascot,
Okay.
that's still it's the same mascot as our high school.
Oh, Florida Panthers.
It is the Florida Panthers. So generic. I didn't know there was a Florida Panthers. Name one, name one other athletic team that is named after the state and not the city of Florida. It's named after the state of Florida. California Angels. That's the California Angels of Anaheim.
I don't think it is.
That's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Okay, you could be wrong after me.
It's considered the California Angels. Los Angeles. I feel like there's got to be one though. There's got to be. I mean, New York. I mean,
City of New York.
yeah, but
It's New York City. It's not the state of New York. They're
Yeah.
in New York City.
I know, but it doesn't say New York City.
It's not New York City. It's called New York, New York. It's not New York City. Anymore.
Yeah, that's true. That's right.
I stole this. You want some more?
Oh yeah. No. I'm gonna up 9 to 9 by the way. So
Reese's is so good. Reese's ice cream. Try it.
man, so
I'm just gonna tell you right now, there's not. There might be.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no Montana. There's a Utah Jazz.
Utah Jazz.
There you go. Figured it out.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Minnesota Twins.
Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Mhm.
I was wrong. Sounds stupid name to me.
Congratulations to the Panthers.
Vegas Knights are up 2-1
Okay.
against Panthers. So they'll probably win again. I'm gonna go ahead and say Vegas in 4.
Vegas in 4. I'm taking Vegas in 5.
I still don't believe that the Flames are a real hockey team. So in a long time.
Here's what we talked about the other night.
It's good to be.
And it's like again, I apologize to the people who are real hockey fans because people who are real hockey fans are passionate and they are really hockey.
They hate the national media or any kind of media that never talks hockey.
And we're not going to be anything else. So I'm going to play. You can play almost anything, and it's so fun. And we're going to name hockey players, past or present, and tell us to know. Now, I think the only way that this can work though is whoever goes first has to be able to if I go first and you guys not one, that's a time. Unless you come up with another one, right? So you come up with one.
I gotta double up if you can't come up with another. You're gonna win. Otherwise it's time.
Otherwise, it's
Okay. Okay. So
I mean, you can go first.
no, we're gonna flip a pen. Whichever the person it's pointing towards gets to go first. Pointing towards you, Bob.
I feel like that was a strategic flip, but okay. I'm going to start off with simple too, buddy, because I'm going to start with the green one. I'll say his name in a second here, but his nickname is the green one. And I listened to an hour-long podcast that he was on today. He was on Fly on the Wall, which is Dana Carvey, and players getting talking about it. Uh, like a few of the famous ones that I would have known anyway. But he is the third member of Dustin Johnson, who may come up in the segment here in a little bit. So it's just a full thing. Wayne Gretzky,
Yarmir Yager,
beautiful. Chris Chelios.
Patrick Waugh.
Thank you for saying that. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with I'm like next out of all of the
Name that somebody else had already said, do we still get an opportunity to say
yeah,
give him a
Sidney Crosby.
Ooh, well done. Mark Messier.
He's a messy. Um, going back to the Blackhawks, there was Chelios and there was you know what? I'm going Patrick Subban. So, I think he was like the first black guy and
Okay, my name sounds familiar. Jimmy Rooney. That's who you were thinking of.
that's what I was thinking of.
It's funny. I'm thinking of the other alternatives. It's once. It's like because it's not the same to me. It's not basketball, but
You know, let's go with Bobby Hall.
I was just thinking in my head.
Right off. Gordie Howe.
No, I didn't think you'd be able to go that far. All right. Okay. Sidney Crosby.
I said him.
What's the wrestling guy that was really good? Players like 10 years together. Oh my God, I have no idea what his name is. Let's go with tip on him. I'm done. Lost. I lost. And you continue. That's my question.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the other guy too. Crosby and Crosby, Stills, and Nash. No, it was oh, there is a Nash. There is a Nash. I think he played for it was Columbus. He was Columbus's best player.
The Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus Blue Jackets. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. That's like recent. I don't know.
Somebody Nash, but hold on.
Steve.
Conn Smythe.
Okay, now we're done. Well, that's the trophy.
It's a trophy.
Good boy, he certainly was going to this. And it Trish. And it Trish. You beat me. I definitely lost that. Played a lot of Blades of Steel, and I played a lot of Brett Hockey back in the day. And I just think it was on Sega Genesis. And I could not tell you any of the people because I was always the Blackhawks, and I was always Jeremy Roenick, Chris Chelios, and was Patrick Waugh their goalie now? What was their goalie?
So
He was really big too.
yeah,
The goalie, that was tough. It was poor. It wasn't Brett Hall hockey. What was that hockey yet? We used to play. Was it Brett Hall hockey?
Blades of Steel is the one I played the most, but there was NHL 90.
Yeah, maybe not. It was just an NHL 90 something.
I think so.
So there you go. Segment. It was fun. It was fun. Play, man, play. Here we go.
Was a Canadian businessman, soldier, and sportsman in ice hockey, and
Sounds like a hockey play.
Statesman in ice hockey and horse racing. He is best known as the principal owner of the Toronto Maple Leafs of the National Hockey League from 1927 to 1961. That's a era. And is the builder of the Maple Leaf Gardens as owner of the Leafs during its Stanley Cup. I don't think so. I think it was probably like the pit in Cincinnati where he got all the students and teachers and stuff to build it.
Yeah. Is actually right. It started.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about the lore of the pit. The students, teachers, and parents built the pit because they didn't have money to.
Would have never known that.
Well, there you go. And I was also told one time that they chose people back in the 20s
I heard this too.
because it was like the cheapest color you could get or
Well,
something.
I heard that they that when they first had a sports team, they were red, but it was during like red full it was
Like the Red Scare, like the Russian stuff.
like Westerns or Chinese or something like that. And something like that. So they switched it to purple.
Oh,
That one into them as well.
that makes sense.
Who knows? So anyway, besides our high school, you want to get into live golf, like PGA golf, or do you want to do a little NBA?
I mean, if you're done talking about the NHL playoffs, sure, I guess we can.
I feel like we covered it all. I'm something else. And I got the bread. I mean, you put out a good review on me.
Well, was I mean the greatest player before Gretzky,
Yeah, 100%. And Bobby, was that his name?
Bobby Hall.
Was really good too at one point.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was Brett Hall, who got drunk and got on the microphone after the Stars won the Stanley Cup.
And there was Scott Hall, who also was drunk about the time.
And Kevin Nash.
Even Nash.
That's the guy who wins.
Right. Since we're on a quick listening now,
That's not what I was on to see. Okay, can you tell me the name of the 1,000-day okay.
it's something that I know what that means.
Is he had the belt for 1,000 straight days.
Wow.
And they gave him this big fancy, really inflates. It really sucks. But now Seth Rollins has the brand new heavyweight championship title, and he's a fighting champ.
You know who wasn't afraid to fight anybody and who was a great entertainer?
Who's that?
The gentleman who passed today, rest in peace, Iron Sheik.
What?
Yeah.
Lawrence Cheek was a great follow on Twitter, apparently. I never fast
Ever.
but I read the just the most random funniest tweets ever.
So funny. He went on a weird start a bunch of times because he was so funny. And just like his people out into his 80s and Hogan in his 80s constantly. It's it was so funny. To my cousin, my cousin, he was like, like tomorrow, and I'm gonna be Irish and put some day in public church.
Glad you're waiting until tomorrow.
And I couldn't get you in a camel clutch if I wanted to.
Talking about that, let him up a little bit. You put him in camel clutch, I'll flip around, put him in the round table.
Oh, nice. You come back with the torture after that.
Well, if you stay down there by the legs, then leave it in the finish.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Let me get the Lexi of the torture out.
It was such a good one. And you know what? It's something pretty similar, except it doesn't go up over top the torture. Really good. But Bobby Lashley does the full Nelson.
Okay, the full Nelson.
Mhm.
What is funny is everybody does the DDT, except if you're like a couple of guys like Snake the Snake has his and then he feels
and then there was a lot of people that did basically the same move, but they call them different things, such as the RKO.
Oh yeah,
Randy Orton.
okay. Yeah, was that kind of similar to the Stanford stuff?
Similar, but more closer to the Diamond King.
The Diamond Cutter was good.
Mhm.
To me,
What?
to me, To me, it wasn't as good as the Tombstone.
I agree. The Tombstone was good, but if you really had to think about it, and you really want to go into like a 1,000-day belt like that, and you want to get into streaks, then you got to talk about the Japanese. What's that called? Diamonds? Is that wrong? Is that wrong, right? That was Black Knight. Yeah. Yeah, but they talked about yeah, speaking of suplex, the perfect plex was this gonna get yeah, he used to have a perfect plex. You know what's close to the perfect flex though? Flex is the uh is the phenomenal forearm. Right now, it's not like it's bad. Styles. I mean, speaking of that, I mean, we made the what we thought about Solo Sakura and the Samoan punch. How about it?
Uh, if we're talking finishing moves, then I'm talking about the mandible claw.
Oh, the mandible claw. That's a good one. If you put mandible claw and you just go down a little bit, it's a lot like a choke slam.
Oh, okay. But you're going down further than that.
That is choke slam. That's it. Um, and then if we're talking about some reason, speaking of the DDT and they think it's such a common thing, I mean, everyone, it's really put our leg drop on there. It's all right, but it's something you just go the first thing you can have every other match. Yes, you put the names in sound.
I have heard of that. I can't remember who.
His name was Saturn. He agreed with the whole thing with Raven. Oh, yeah. It was a DDT as well, I believe. But Hidden Flow DDT. Yeah. Okay,
So now we got to talk about I believe Macho Man Randy Savage had the was it the
I used to look at splash. Oh, I think it was the atomic elbow that he did at the end. It says a splash.
no, you know what? I elbow off the top rope. Yes, yeah. I don't know that I get credit for that either.
I get credit for that. I get credit for that. I just had one in my head and started talking to you about that, and I lost it.
Can only think of old.
Yeah, it is. So what about? Oh my God, this is. I'm so upset right now. I can't think about it. Oh, that one.
Swanton bomb.
That's off the top rope. That's like a flip where you land on your back. I think it's the guy doing it now. Jeff Hardy used to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You know, you don't know what it's called, but you just sitting in place. You know, it's a big smash. We can talk about the figure four in the wheel. The Delano Serena flavor will put you in a figure eight. Oh no. He takes the figure four and puts a bridge on it.
that's right. That's right. You told me about that recently. And look, if we're still thinking about, finishing moves.
What's funny about some of this, I thought we were just gonna go through how many submission moves we could think of. And then when you do something, and I was like, okay, now we're just doing finishing moves.
And there was so many guys I can remember recently. I can't remember. Like he was a damn Venus. He was first as good as I don't know what his thing was or if it sounded Wilson Rick Rude, it was his, he used to be the best thing. I love he would cut off a little bit of your
There's so many moves. I mean, I don't know what Scott Steiner's move was. I don't know Rick Steiner's move.
It was some wrestling move because
Rick Steiner's was definitely some kind of submission.
his face,
Crippler crossface.
well, that
His
is
face crippler. Chris Benoit.
yeah. I lose.
Yeah, I feel like we did really good though. I feel like that was way better than there's no way that was finishing 10 times better than anything for sure that we've ever designed and said that doing on these podcasts.
Next thing is is new for many, many years.
And right now, everyone knows a lot of the same moves, and they just call it something different. I know, so great.
I know.
Sounds good.
Okay. He just clotheslined you.
Yeah,
And
yeah, doesn't make any sense to me either.
anyway, we were moving for the
Another good segment. I've been listening about this for 2 days since it happened, and I still can't remember his name.
Monahan.
Yeah. So, uh, now the craziest thing about this, right? Let's just say this. The craziest thing about this was this live golf course funded by Saudi Arabian prince or something like that, the PWF or PIF, some kind of fund. Um, and they fund the live golf tour. And they just started offering a lot of these golfers in unbelievable amounts of money. Like World Vanguard for like $25 million. Whatever it is. Exactly. That's the point. Is like guaranteed $25 million more than he like double what he's ever made on tour.
Tiger was offered like 800 million.
They said Tiger was close to a billion and he turned it down. Dustin Johnson got $120 million. Boom, in your bank account right now. All you have to do is go there. Yeah, so lots of money was just these guys. The tournaments are smaller. You don't need to wear pants. They play music. Right. No suits. And what I'm saying is you're not playing naked. You're not playing naked. Right.
Good.
But you can wear suits, which if there's one thing that golf can get out of this PGA Tour can do, get those guys when it's 90 degrees out, really play golf shirts. Uh, besides the point. But you can play music, which that's not real golf. Like that's playing with me on a random Wednesday or something or Thursday. We got music going the entire time. They have speakers now that attach to the golf cart, and you got this little thing on top. You put it in your pocket, and you press it when you're at your ball, and it you download it to an app, and it'll Bluetooth and blah blah blah. And you press the button when you get to your ball, it tells you how, and then it pauses the music, and over the speaker on your golf cart, it says how far away you are from where you're at, so you can do your club that you need. It's so it's all. I mean, everybody listens to music while they golf now.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'd say 80% of people do. Now, you're not a golf meeting. Some people get so many speakers going. I feel like there's
So many people who would, I don't know.
yeah, it's so like when if I'm golfing and there's people behind me or in front of me that I don't know and I'm pulling up to them, we'll do that just to be nice while they're going. But if they most of the time they speaker going too, or no, now I'm going, we got a little bit, something, a little bit nice. I'm not gonna put the guys that golf all the time. I gotta ask them about that. Yeah, see if they're music guys. There's people that are, there's people that aren't. Yeah. Most of the time, the guys that aren't
Good.
well, that doesn't mean and some of the best golfer I know plays music the whole time I goes.
Okay. Mike Little.
No, there's plenty of people that couldn't find out. We've been like 2 out of 5 weeks this year.
Nice, nice, nice.
I had no idea that was going to stay. There are some, old baseball fans that probably also play golf that want to go by the letter of the law.
I got you.
It loosens you up a little bit. I think it makes it easier.
So it doesn't bother somebody else is playing some music kind of loud that you don't like at all or something like when you're swinging.
The music first off, that's a funny thing to me. Everybody's like, "Oh, so I was talking in your box swing. Well, first off, I didn't hear you. And there ain't nothing you could say that would make me screw up any worse than I already did. It's fine, trust me. I screw up enough on my own. Anyway, with this golf, you got that live golf over there, and they pay a bunch of money. And the point is, Greg Norton's been trying to do this for a long time. He wanted some kind of like
Just competition for the
competition for PGA.
Yeah.
So the PGA Tour and this guy Jay, what was it, Mullins? Monahan, like saying some nasty things. Like when this first came out, it was like if you go over there, you're taking blood money. You're taking, these are the people that were part of the 9/11 flights. Like some real big threats, not threats, but like trying to make you feel really bad about it in some really, really uh
Accusations
yeah,
or
yeah, sensitive things
yeah.
were being said. Um and
I don't know why that was such a. I mean, I knew that it was backed by Saudi money, but I didn't know why that was so bad.
yeah, so and the PGA just wanted to dismiss it all, and this is happened once before. They just dismiss it, and push on, keep on, because they're basically a monopoly.
Yeah.
Which is another thing that is probably going to happen here very soon. Is the federal government's already been looking into them. So um, now you have Live Golf. They go off. They stole some of the big names, some really big names. Um, Now you have to kind of do something. And poor Roy McIlroy has been like the spokesperson, and that poor guy's he was basically laid out to dry, man. They kind of hosed him. And he even said they had an interview with him yesterday, and they were like, "We got guys like you that didn't take the money, but now it's being backed by them." And he goes, I've never been offered money by them, but absolutely. He basically, I'm not gonna quote him, but he's basically saying like, a lot of people, the PGA came to us and said, "Don't take the money," and we did it for them, and now they're taking our money. I feel like there should be some compensation. He said, "I feel like there should be a conversation at least had about it." So he wants some compensation for everything he did for the PGA. PGA. So anyway, it's not Live Golf that is merging with PGA. It's the fund it's that PIF or whatever that fund is that that is merging with PGA. So they're trying to the PGA is now accepting money. The PGA is a nonprofit. They now will no longer be a nonprofit organization.
Oh,
So this is everything. When you've got these see free people, and it's a lot of stuff that's going to start coming out on this. A lot of stuff. And then Greg Norman just said today, nope, we still Live Golf will still be through. We've got a whole year planned. We've got now we can actually go a little bit harder than getting better advertising, because these advertisers will come to us because we're part of the PGA now. And
or
there's a lot of people that think that's not going to happen.
is everybody just gonna lose more because now some of the advertisers don't want to be associated with Live Golf?
There's a lot, but that's the thing, is they're trying to say it's not Live Golf. It's the PIF, it's the fund or whatever that is merging, not with PGA, not
So PGA and Live are gonna stay separate entities, but they're all
under the same umbrella. You don't know. It's the thing that's out there. Everybody's like, no, there's no way that's going to happen. And then randomly comes out and says, like, yeah. And he says that that's still going to happen. And everybody's like, poor Greg Norman. I don't think anybody let him know. Nobody knew. Greg McIlroy, who's been the biggest ambassador for this, and really stood on his soapbox and preached against a lot of these guys that did this. And it basically said, that the news came out at 9:52. They sent an email out to all the media and all that stuff, and he came out at 6:30 that morning. So 2 hour, 2.5 hours before that, I feel like, oh boy, like, somebody that you have been using basically to push against all these other golfers. He's talked some bad stuff about a lot of golfers.
I mean, isn't that up to him though?
Yeah, until you find out that the PGA is asking him to do all this stuff, and he's with it. Not that he's doing it,
Yeah.
and he, turned down things. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's crazy. And I don't even know what any of this means. How Live Golf will continue. So the Live Golf is gone, and now we're going to be paying players salaries almost on top of being able to win tournaments. We don't know what is going to happen at this point. But all that money, the crazy thing to me is all that money that you split out there. This is the PGA, this guy Jay
Monahan.
Monahan, talking about blood money, and 9/11 was, this money was behind 9/11, and now you're taking that, and people that have died, and all that stuff, and the towers crashing, and that's where you're going. First off, there's no way of proving how that works. I'm not even going to get into the geopolitical part of the whole thing because that's too much. That's out of my breadbasket.
Out of mind. So yeah, this is what the deal is. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Nobody knows what this is going to do. What they did was say this merger was happening, and no one has any idea.
There's just going to be way more money in golf.
For everybody, I guess. Maybe you don't know. You don't know. I mean, yes, there's going to be more money in golf, for sure. These dudes just found out that they supposedly they're trying to bring all these soccer players over too now. Like Ronaldo, they gave him like something crazy, $250 million a year to come play in this Saudi Arabia soccer league. Somebody said that they offered Messi around $1 billion after he won the World Cup to go over there.
Wow.
That like they were planning on putting over $20 billion into paying players to come and play in the Saudi Arabia soccer league. So I don't know what this whole end game is with all this PIFF, this fund, all these Saudi prince or whatever this guy is. I don't know what the end game is, but he seems to be going after a lot of things and wants to be involved in a lot of these sports.
You think it would do a lot for their economy? I'm sure that would affect the economy quite a bit.
He's got more money than the rest of the world. I mean, they took exactly. They control oil,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. And these guys, yes, I mean, maybe
We needed
I was like 40 oil.
I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just need to top it off a little bit.
Anyway, I don't know, man. This is crazy stuff. It's something fun. What do you know about it? What did you look into it? What's your thoughts?
The Las Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche.
Champion. We just talked about it more.
We talked about everything I know because you gave me more information than I
Yeah, so crazy. And both could very well change. They've already said like there could be team events. That was another thing. There were like foursomes and starts. Like you're playing on a Saturday, for an outer alumni outing or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like not a real golf. And that's the big thing Rory McIlroy was trying to protect was golf. They play 54 holes instead of 72. Right? So they're
that's better.
trying to save what the real entity of what golf is and what it has been for 1,000 years. You know what I mean? That 72 whole movement style and all of it.
Yeah. Ever since 1002.
And one instead of like a team.
Really twosome. You play with another guy.
But you're not on the same team. You're playing against them. These are like it's teams of teams.
Yeah. Interesting. I mean, it sounds like there's way more that's going to come out, way more that's going to happen. They probably don't even know. I'm sure that if there are rule changes that are going to take place, if there is a different way they're going to structure tournaments and things like that.
It's a PGA championship, isn't it? So this is my favorite thing.
It's going to be
a lot of stuff. My favorite part about this whole thing. My favorite thing that was said about the whole thing was today I was listening to Dan Patrick's show. And one of the Danettes, I think it was Polly, said, he goes, all I want to know is what part of the 30 for 30 are we in right now? Are we in hour one? Are we in the first 15 minutes? Are we creeping up on the third hour? Like, what point of ESPN's 30 for 30 on this are we in right now? How much more is going to happen?
When it comes in.
I don't know. I don't know. It's like having a mafia family join the Major League Baseball organization or something.
I've been Major League Baseball back in the day.
Definitely.
So then we'll keep an eye on this because there's going to be way more that comes out. So we'll keep an eye, things news that continues with both, then we'll talk about it next week.
That sounds good.
Or in 2 weeks, or
You got something going on next week?
no, I just mean
Like,
yeah.
oh, you were telling me you weren't going to be on the weekends next week.
No. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to take this opportunity to announce my retirement from the podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
Man, because that's gonna go. We want to find a way to make this thing one bad slash. We've had it like like the Twitter, what do you call it, go viral.
Mhm.
We've found a way to make it make the announcement. That thing will go viral for as long as it can.
That's why apparently Adam Silver has not been able to the information he has in the upcoming suspension for John Morant yet, because he doesn't want to do it during the NBA Finals and ruin that.
I've heard a lot of people have talked about
Speaking of the NBA Finals,
that. I had the Denver Nuggets sweeping the Miami Heat. You had Nuggets in 6.
like I said,
Yeah, you're looking really good. I'm gonna go back. I'm pretty sure you said 6. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, Puka took Heat in 6. That's what the 6 was.
okay.
Um, but the Denver Nuggets lost the game at, I don't know, 17 days ago. They play like 5 days in between for some reason in the finals. It's like 3 days game. Lost the game. Last time we were on, they were 1-0. They lost it a few days ago, and it seemed like everyone was talking about this magic thing that Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat came up with, and they even asked him after the game, uh, were you previously just letting Jokic score and taking away the pressing? Is that what you're trying? Is that what we're doing? And he's like, to the untrained eye, it might look like that, but that's absolutely not it. We're just doing everything we can. And that was Ramona Shelburne that asked it. But that was kind of a messed up answer to give to her because she's not the only one saying it. First off, she's a very trained eye.
Mhm.
And second off, like half of the NBA people out there are saying the exact same thing. So I would
Steve Cooper said that on Draymond's podcast, I think. I mean, yeah,
did you hear that question in response to that? I thought it was a little one favor of most over. We'll just say it. Because she's one of the best NBA columnists there are out there. He's been around forever, and that was unfair when everyone is talking about that.
he was a little condescending.
That didn't happen.
In game 2, he had 4 assists. He had 7 assists like in the first 4.
Yeah. Well, did you also see how many wide open shots the Denver Nuggets missed in that game too? That's it. It's like just 4 shots that were wide open. Those, and Jokic is up, you know what I mean? People get, it's totally different. The whole point of him doing passing is to get his other teammates uh moving and have confidence and be prepared in the game. And if they miss their first couple, their all their confidence is going down. So now it doesn't matter how much you pass, they're not making shots anyway. He went on a 8-point run on his own, an 8-0 run, and 3 of the 4 shots he took were horrible shots that he just kind of flailed around, and they had such beautiful soft touch at the rim and just laid in. And it was like Luke Jason's like, what you can't stop him. It's impossible to stop him.
Yeah, and so I mean, the Denver Nuggets got back in game 3 to what they've been doing in the playoffs, and they're passing the ball well. They're pushing the ball. They keep pushing the ball pretty hard, and I like that. I just like that pushing the pace, because I think you get more opportunities, more open looks when
Yeah.
you're really pressing the defense right off the bat. Um, and so they did. They knocked out some, and then Joel Embiid continued to play really well, and Jokic just continued to play really well. As long as those 2 guys keep going, I mean, Miami doesn't have a 1-2 punch like that.
No, I mean it is a 1-2 punch. 34 for Murray tonight, 32 for Jokic, 11 for Aaron Gordon, 2 for Porter Jr., 6 for Caldwell Pope, 4 for Green, 5 for Brown, and then the surprise of the game was what's his name? Was it Chris Braun?
Christian.
Christian Braun. 15 points for Christian Braun today. But that's a 34 and a whole bunch of nothing behind it. So it is definitely a 1-2 punch.
But I mean, like the 11 and the 6 and the 4 and it's surprising that Michael Porter Jr. only had 2 or 4 lost.
Two.
2 points for Michael Porter,
One of 7, 2 from 3, but he had 7 bolds.
and they won by how much?
And they won by 15.
A 15 point
We
win.
also played 21 minutes, so he had to have gotten in foul trouble.
Maybe something.
He had to get in foul trouble because he usually plays in that, like Aaron Gordon, around that 34, 30 some minutes a game. But Jokic, 32, 10 assists, and I'm going to let you guess his rebounds.
I think he had like 12 in the first half or something like that. I'm gonna say he ended up with 21.
You suck. You already looked at it. That's a pretty game. Lords.
That was
Phenomenal. Yes. Yes. 32, 10, and 21.
It's not bad.
That's a decent game for just about anybody there, sir.
And I'm guessing they shot a lot better in this game from the floor.
Absolutely.
3-point.
Absolutely.
So that's I'm saying to 6 or 7 people over the last couple of days, and most of the people
51% from the floor as a team. Miami shot 37. They shot let's see, they're 27.8 from 3. That's 81% off. That's from line. But yeah, but the 51 and Miami
81% from the
free throw line.
team. That's really good.
Yeah, they were 22 of 27, and the Heat were 78.9 at 15 of 19. So, I mean, both teams shot well from the free throw line. And they both got to the free throw line, which is different from the last 2 games.
Yeah.
The Nuggets only got to the free throw line in game 2, and the Heat didn't get into the free throw line. But they took 2 free throws in game 1.
That's right.
So that's just a lot, there you go. That's tells you a lot of the story.
I think I was getting ready to say I talked to several people the last couple of days about it, and after a split in Denver, everybody's like, "Oh, how do you feel about it?" And I'm like, I still feel like Denver is definitely the better, more talented team. I think they're just the way they've played over the last couple of months, and just their talent, top to bottom, seems to be quite a bit better. So I'm still sticking with it. And now, certainly a 15-point win on the road to get that home court back is a big deal.
It's a big deal. So, it's the NBA Finals. I feel like that's pretty much how things have been. Is Denver is just that good.
So we might be congratulating a champion next week, and unless Miami gets another win and then they extend it. But for now, that's what it looks like. And we have one more thing to do here, Chris.
We do. Mount Rushmore, because I did not watch Wanda Sykes. So if you watch the new Wanda Sykes on Netflix, you can more weeks to get to that.
So our Mount Rushmore for this week,
Right.
was the Mount Rushmore of DJs, which came up when we somehow brought up a DJ last week or something. I forget.
Yep.
What it was, DJ Tanner or somebody. But
DJ Tanner, my kids are cool. So they've watched Fuller House like 17 times on Netflix, and
it's the first episode.
they're now watching Fuller House, old school Full House, and seeing who everybody was from back in the day. So watch Fuller House first, which is kind of cool. It's kind of cool. They're like, it's pretty cool.
I love Full House.
Although they do, because they joke around about how Michelle's never there. Like in the one thing, like, we're just missing Michelle. Michelle, if you ever want to come, we'd be happy to see you. And then we go back to the regular show, during Full House. It's pretty funny. So now they get to see Michelle.
Gotcha. Gotcha. How long did that go? Did they just do like a couple seasons of Full House?
I think it was 4,
Oh,
3 or 4.
okay.
Yeah.
That ended a while ago, though, right?
Yeah, it's been a couple years. So.
Okay. I was gonna say that because now you don't have
It was right
Dan-
before the pandemic, I believe. Yeah, dude.
we're missing second now. I don't think you can get that.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough to do that.
He was part of it. Yeah, I mean, he was the host of Wake Up San Francisco. I mean,
Without Courthouse as well. Like he was.
yeah.
Becky's in jail, so
Shame on you, Aunt Becky. Um, and Danny Tanner is deceased.
that's right.
Remember up there DJs. Chris? Is it Chris?
It is. We decided this was gonna go. Did we decide the producers were okay in this?
Yeah, sure.
Because, like, I mean, if you think of what I talked about this. Like, if you think about what a DJ is, like the DJ for the group that, like, back in the late 70s, early 80s, the DJ was the one who created the beat. He was the producer of the beat. And then when you went out, your DJ was singing the beat while you rapped over top of it, right? Like he created it, he put it together, he produced the whole thing. He'd take a sample from some 1950s whatever, like, and then they just kind of twist it around and throw it on, and then you get a beat. But that's not kind of, I feel like that kind of sounds like the original producers, like Dr. Dre was a DJ. That's what he did. He was that. That's literally what he did. He got turntables and he worked as a DJ, and then made up with Ice Cube and whoever else. And then Easy. That's what I'm gonna say. I mean, it was him and Easy. He kind of started that whole thing, right? So, but that's how Easy even. He was a DJ at like Cuba's or at the club or whatever. And then Dr. Dre produced 80% or more of the beats for NWA.
Yeah.
So, like, is that a DJ? Is Dr. Dre a DJ? Or is Dr. Dre a rapper?
Yeah, I think
Or is he a producer? So he would have got that.
if you put them on there, yes.
Okay. Then I've got my all right, please. Number one, obviously, is DJ Jazzy Jeff. I mean, the first Prince of Bel Air's, was nothing without DJ Jazzy Jeff. So DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince of Bel Air.
And the Fresh Prince.
Right, that's not so. There, that's a TV show. It's a TV show, my friend. So we'll go there, and then I'm going to
Yep.
I feel like Dr. Dre from being Dr. Dre. And then I'm gonna go with the guy who did almost all of my favorite, like, if you want to get into like a workout or go for a run, run, but if you want to go for a workout or if you just want to really get into it, with some BMX, always gets me hyped. Swiss Beats did almost all of what were they called? Rough Riders.
Oh yeah.
Did almost all of that stuff. And you can always hear that Swiss Beats is just a little bit different, it's just a little harder. You know what I mean? Like, I just love that.
Third rock or like a
Yes. So I'm going Swiss Beats. And then number 4, maybe I don't have 4. So my number 4, what was it? Sorry, I was looking at this earlier. We got
Jazzy Jeff, Dr. Dre, Swiss Beats, and you're thinking of
the other one is what's like that? Easy. Love, especially after watching the Wu-Tang Clan thing that's on Hulu. You can watch the story of Wu-Tang, which is produced by RZA as well. Or he's an executive producer in it. I've learned to love Yeah, dude, that dude, like, that's how he's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very successful Wu-Tang Clan.
He was one of the first people. He got his boys signed, and they all own their own music.
Oh,
He went in and every place he told them, I'm gonna do your deals. Here's the thing, I'm gonna do your deals. You're under Wu-Tang. I'll do all your we're Wu-Tang production or something like that. But if if you want to go to Rockefeller, if you want to go to, wherever you go to,
mhm.
I'll do your deal. And he made sure every one of his guys had full rights to their music, that none of those places had rights. And it was all the whole thing was like, oh, that's not how we do things. Well, if you want Redman, that's how not Redman, Method Man, that's how it's gonna be. You know what I mean? If you want ODB, that's how it's gotta be. And those were the first two big ones that came out.
Yeah.
All right. Mustard was like one of the best guys in that group. I still don't understand. If you watch the show, holy cow. If any of this he's a goofy son of a gun.
His name was Real Description, huh?
Oh, he was an old dirty bastard. No doubt about that. He was an old dirty bastard. This man though was just like a dude in the hood that they knew. Like he was living with his grandma or something, going to private school playing not field hockey, what's that called? With a net.
Lacrosse.
Playing lacrosse. Like getting fights at lacrosse, and then his grandma said you got one too many fights. He was about to he was back to the field, went back to the hood, and he was just chilling with his boys. Wasn't like he was into gang stuff or nothing like some of the other guys were. He's just chilling, just had to go back to the lead, and he had an unbelievable voice. He wrote most of the hits for all those early Wu-Tang things. He was the hook man.
Nice. Oh, the hook brings you back.
That's right.
Understand.
There you go.
Uh,
I got the bills, y'all. Dang, get the money.
yeah, yes, Jeff is number one. Gotta be.
Just because.
Gotta be. Then I got one really fun one. I immediately when we said this last week, we talked about now, and we talked about stuff like that. Did you know that? No, I didn't.
You did it. I think you guys know this. Somebody just played real DJ tunes. He's done like real live, like thousands of people, and he's got headphones on, being a quote unquote DJ.
On the ones to his famous for handsome.
Sorry, continue.
Jeff's number one. The fun one I thought of right away when we said this last week. SW1. SW1 is Sean Wayans. He was the DJ on it. It was the second guy that came to my mind. Like on SW1. Would play the music and the fly girls would dance to the music.
Don Wayans and Jennifer Lopez.
There you go. Number 3, I'm gonna go Kid Capri.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one.
Yeah, Kid Capri was the DJ at. I'm sure he did a bunch of other stuff too, but he was the DJ for a long time for the Def Comedy Jam.
Yep.
So that was I spent I don't know 4 or 5 months ago. I watched like first 4 seasons of it or something like that.
Martin was usually the what do you call that? Mike Man or whatever.
Yeah.
Mike Man?
The MC,
Mike Man? DJ D Rock?
I feel like I saw the name as I was looking.
DJ D Rock does well on season 15 or something now, by the way. And I know I've said it on this podcast a million times.
You love it.
Love that show. But DJ D Rock gets made fun of constantly by the guys on the show because it's a comedy thing, right? It's all funny. Holy cow. They make fun of DJ D-Rex so much it's not even funny.
I'm going number 4. I'm going Al B. Shore.
I don't know that one.
Al B. Shore was he did everything in music too. He was a rapper, he was a producer, he was a DJ in the 80s.
Okay.
And became for the last several years, there's a syndicated show on like R&B stations called Love and R&B. And it's really played at night.
That makes sense why you know it. That's all coming in now.
But Abby Shore was really big in the 80s, in the early 90s, and then he became a DJ, a disc jockey,
Right.
and played like old R&B love songs and stuff on this show. And there's an R&B station in Cincinnati that plays it. He's no longer the DJ of that. But one of the guys from New Edition, big time 90s, 80s and 90s group, is now the new host DJ of that show of Love and Army. But Albie Shore was for a long time, and I loved like nights like on a Sunday night or something, driving home from somewhere, and hitting on the thing, and it's like, oh, it's so sweet, just some sweet slow jam.
So we didn't go DJ Khaled.
Mhm.
But didn't make it. Funk Master Flex. Who else was on the hip hop DJ things? DJ Reese. Let's see. I knew.
I know hardly any DJs.
Some names, but I don't know anything.
Jam
Master Jam.
Master.
That's a good one right there. That's a tough one. He probably should take over my fourth spot, but yeah. Let's see. DJ Envy.
Mhm.
You know, Envy's on yeah, DJ Envy, he's in the Breakfast Club. He's the main guy in Breakfast Club. DJ Clue,
DJ Clue from that.
DJ Slay. He just died. Let's see if there's any other good ones on here. Man, that was deep.
I'm trying to think of. I did a lot of stuff like in the 90s.
Cinderella.
I don't know Spenderella.
You know Spenderella.
Do I?
DJ Spenderella. Think, 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 best women's hip hop of the late 80s, early 90s.
Oh boy. Queen Latifah.
Group. Like a Run DMC. It's basically like a Run DMC. Like you wouldn't think of Jam Master No, because Salt and Pepper had DJ Spenderella on the ones and twos. Forget about Spinderella.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Yeah, probably should have hit her on there too. Let's see, DJ China is another one. That's pretty much. Shout out to DJ Cody Rap. Maybe one day we'll put some Cody Rap on the entry and on our intro and outro music. I got a couple songs, tracks, records. I got a couple records that I'll spin one day on.
Nice.
Yeah. If you listen this long, I'll be impressed. We'll find out.
Sounds good. I mean, that's my 4, and you had your 4, and that's our DJ. That's our mountain.
That's our DJs. And I unfortunately did not listen to watch the one Sykes, so we don't have that. So that brings us to the end of the podcast, except for I need to come up with a Mount Rushmore for next week. And I think my Mount Rushmore for next week, I think we're gonna do something. We're gonna do something a little different.
Oh.
I mean, I feel like every time it's something a little different. Let's go with Mount Rushmore of middle relievers.
That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, that's really gonna be suck because most middle relievers were starters or closers at some point.
Well, if they were in middle relief,
That's I mean, I feel like that's automatically a number one. Right? I mean, that dude had a rubber arm. I don't know if this is gonna work. I mean, unless I think of something by the end of this.
there might end up being a lot of setup men that will remember.
Maybe if they went back into it, when they started calculating the hold, do you think they went back into the past and like went back and looked to see and like said, okay, well, because sometimes they'll do that, right? You know what I mean? I mean, they've got the capability of doing all kinds of crazy things.
There was like no such thing as a middle reliever until the 80s.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Okay, that's gotta be Jason Roscoe. I mean, Jason Roscoe, you did a lot of everything.
He did everything.
When you pitch for 60 years, you do just about everything. Um, okay, yeah, I'll stick with you. You know, I'll go with the middle reliever. I'll go Rushmore. I don't know, bud. You got anything else you wanna throw out there? I mean, we've talked about every single hockey player we know.
I'm gonna get so mad like tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna remember one more or something.
Sidney Crosby. He's the guy I can't believe I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
They just shortened his last name, and that's what they called him.
Eiserman. Eiserman is a Detroit Red Wing, like one of the great Detroit Red Wings.
I'm sure. So,
What's his first name? This is Steve Eiserman. And I might not be right either. Yeah, it can't be Steve. His last name is Eiserman. Such a little lie. It can't be Steve. It's Igor or
a lot of
Slicklock or that's no. I think different Europe.
I want to say that guy's name started with V. The guy was with Sidney Crosby. He was the best player. Who was the best hockey player in the 2000s? That's who it is. That's who it's going to be. Right? I mean, that's
Something Vitch. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Here we go. Ready? No, I don't know any of these people. Who are these people? Who are the top 10 NHL players of the 2000s? Those are the top 10. Are you ready for this? You probably any of these guys, huh? This is the top 10 players of the 2000s.
A lot of guys.
Daniel Alfredson. Oh, yeah. Scott Niedermayer. Got it. This is it. There it is. Alex Ovechkin. That's the name we're trying to figure out. So he's 8. Sidney Crosby is 7. These 7 players who are better than them. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's
Here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna say the first name or last name, and I'll say the last name. You tell me the first name. We're doing it the opposite.
no.
Last name, you probably. I'll do the last name. You first.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Pat.
Chris.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I should have. I thought about that. I can't pronounce any of these.
It's gonna make it even better.
Iginla. Iginla, which probably is just or something silly.
Gregory.
Yeah, you're wrong. Dacia. D-A-T-S-Y-U-K.
Patrick, I think.
Dacic.
Dale.
Pavel. Here we go. Thornton.
Oh. Joe Thornton.
This one I actually somebody. This one I actually I've heard this name. Brodeur.
Martine.
Martine Brodeur. Well done. And last but not least is Lidstrom. Nicholas. Nicholas. It's just Nicholas. And he's, yeah, I don't know. There's a Tim Lincecum.
There he is.
So I knew 3 of the 10. 3 of the 10. 3 of the 10. And that's the area that we paid most attention to sports.
Yeah.
Okay. That's perfect. Oh my gosh. That was fun for me.
That was fun.
Fans and a lot of listening all in this podcast. About basketball and baseball. What is that? We talked about baseball and baseball. No, I didn't.
You take batting practice before the Reds game today. Hit 4 home runs.
You believe that I hit 4 home runs? I now know that I could go in batting practice. I could hit a home run if I got 30 swings.
Nice.
I'm 90% sure I could hit one ball if somebody's lobbing me.
I'm 1% sure I could hit 90 bombs.
1% sure you could hit 90 bombs. You can't out of how many swings? 100? How many swings do you get? It's it's a little better. I'm with
I could.
if you gave me 20 swings, I could hit a bomb. And it's got to be somebody throwing 50, 40, 50 miles an hour at me. I mean, it can't be, I don't want a 80, 70. I don't even want a 70. I don't even want 60.
Thing we were doing in Cooperstown.
Yes. Just kind of lobbing it in there and then bang.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I think I could hit one out of 20 pitches. At least, maybe more. If there's a short porch, like 250 down the line, I think I can go after that.
You're not lefty in Fenway Park. You could hit.
It's either way, Whiskey's pull. Is it Whiskey or Pinsky?
Pinsky, yeah.
That's what I thought.
But you'd have to go left-handed. It's right field, right?
Oh, I'm telling you, I'm right-handed.
Yeah.
It's like plenty over there. It's like what, 220, 210? It's at the closest point there,
It's like,
and it shoots like straight out from there. I can wrap a couple around that.
he's like at the end of the dugout.
Yeah, with some tail on it from the right side. Yeah, I could definitely get some tail on a ball and hook it around.
And inside pitch too.
You can definitely do that. There's no doubt in my mind. I like it. I mean, what's Great American down the lines? 280, 290,
Oh no, isn't it like
310,
3?
320?
I was like, yeah, 338.
I mean, left field's pretty short, isn't it? Or is right field shorter? I think right field's shorter.
Refield was supposed to be shorter, yeah. Because when they made it Dunn and Griffin,
Yeah.
That. Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know.
I feel like I could maybe get 300 a few times. That's about as far as I could probably hit ball right now.
Well, that's not going out.
It'd go out at Whiskey's ball and a couple corners where I got 260, 280. I can hit a couple out in those. I think I could do it.
I don't know. Yeah,
That's good. That's a kind of park that's got a far enough wall.
Yeah.
And I want to see if I could get 102 out.
we're gonna find. Yeah, we've got
I'm getting a new bat though, because all the wood bats I have are over 15 to 20 years old. I'm not like the big ones. I'm sticking to split because not like the bat isn't broke. I'm swinging on the phone. But it's like dry rot, like dried out so much that it's getting chips. Oh,
I want you to go up there and use that. I'm gonna throw you a cutter and saw you off.
well, I'm not football. I think I would have broke the wood bat of Parker's today in batting practice. I hit him with a heater on the hands, and it 100% would have broke his bat. I thought he broke his composite bat that he had today. Like I hit him about 6 inches above his hands, right in the narrow part of the handle, and it sounded terrible. And I was like, and everybody was like, but I was like, nah, man, if it was a wood bat.
Oh man, you gotta throw inside.
Yeah.
Which might happen tomorrow in the Dodgers Mets game. Because I mean, Ellie kind of walked it off a little bit in the first inning. I guess he wrong, and then Will Benson apparently I didn't see it, but
I can say this. In the middle of a game, if you showboat it a little bit, I get it. But if you're hitting a walk-off home run, that's it. Sorry, bro. You get all of it. Walk around the bases if you want. You get all of it. And you should not get thrown out for that. It's a walk-off home run. The game is really taking up time. The team's already off the field by the time you come around. And again, it was the first inning. I think it was the first inning. So no opportunities to hit him if they were to do that.
Although there was, I think, a pitch. I only heard it on the radio, but there was a pitch pretty high and inside sometime after that. But that might have
Sometimes I think being inside was not meant to be. Flying inside isn't usually meant to be the one that's getting you. Inside, like at that, like below the shoulder, the butt is like where that I want to hit you is. I want to hit you in the small of the back. I want it to hurt like hell, and then you never do that ever again.
yeah.
Because you take 98 off the small of the back, it works.
But the high and inside is just a scare pitch. I mean, you might throw that.
That's what I'm saying. You throw it so your breaking ball that goes away from the hitter is effective.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation.
And also,
Yeah. And also,
I'm saying if somebody's throwing that after like that, maybe
then it's going to be looked at as a certain one.
and maybe that is the message. And it's also at the same time, now I'm setting you up for
Now I've got an excuse. Now I got an excuse for it. But if you don't win, then did you really send a message?
I want to played an inch or so.
Yeah, I guess so. There you go. I think that is about all this podcast, bud. Before you get off onto a 37 minute tangent on something else.
Good call.
So until next week, don't forget to turn your lights on.